Yo, yo, yo. What's up, my peoples? Happy Friday. It is Flippin' Friday, baby. What it do? What it do? Hope everybody's doing well. Probably doing better than you were at the beginning of the week. You know what I'm saying? Oh, the weekend's here, dude. We love it. Yeah. Man, we got these chill vibes going on this morning. The chill vibes. Dude, I don't know. We're just gonna have a chill day today playing games, I think, man. No more Pal World until probably closer to a full release for that game. The game's dope. It's really good. It needs a little bit of bake-in time. It's early access. It's an indie developer. It's a very good game. It's a very good game. It does have its rough edges. It needs a little bit of that spit shine, a little bit of that polish. But for what it is an early access game, and you know, we love our indie devs and stuff. It's a fantastic experience right now. It's you know, just feel like anything that I haven't experienced up to this point so far, I'll get whenever it full releases and everything. So whenever it full releases, we'll get back in there and we'll play it again and see what's changed and get the full experience at that point. You know, so I don't know what we're gonna start playing on Monday. I am having to take Saturday and Sunday off. I apologize. It's a family thing. It's a family issue. We've got something we have to address, and it's one of those unforeseen kind of things that is important. And I like to be here, and I like to be consistent with my schedule. So I try not to miss very much time outside of, you know, my normal Wednesdays off, but tomorrow and Sunday will be down days for the stream. I do apologize. I'm very sorry, but you know, family is very important to me, and we just have you know, something that we have to take care of. So hopefully everybody understands. And on that note, dude, we've got video gaming news for today, February 2nd. We're going to dive into that in just one moment. And then, I don't know, man. I was thinking about maybe getting emotional damage. That's right, Davey. I know, man. I'm sorry. What's up, bro? So we'll, I was thinking about getting back into Fallout New Vegas today, but since we've only got one day and then 2 days off before I'll be back, I was like, we'll just maybe play some FPS stuff today or something. So we'll figure it out. We'll just kind of play it by ear, you know, and we'll see what goes on. Thanks, Ferret. Thanks, dude. All right, man. It's good to see you guys. What's up, Davey? What's up, Ferret? Let's go ahead and dive in here, man. Let's see what we got for the news this morning. Destiny 2, it's an FPS? You're not wrong. It is a game. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, Davey. Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, I just, you know, it's important for me to express to you guys how important this is to me and how important you guys are as well. You know, I mean, this is an important thing to me. You guys are my friends, and I like to be here. I like to spend time with you. This is a very important thing to me as well. But family does come first, absolutely, man. You know, sometimes. Yeah, dude. Yeah. So let's go ahead and dive in here, dude. See what we got for the news today. Cool. Let's do it, baby. Let's go. So, we had Soup. Our buddy Soup dropped me this yesterday, which was a little bit wild. We're gonna see if this is legit or not, dude. Did you guys hear anything about this yet? We're going to try and see if we've come across anything in the news. If not, we'll pull something up specifically. But Soup dropped this to me yesterday afternoon. A new PlayStation handheld powered by AMD is in early development. Now, one of my initial thoughts here is, feels bad for this to be happening right after they drop the Portal. For all the PlayStation fans out there, all the PlayStation consumers, feels bad for them to be making an actual handheld that could also play that role as a streaming device, you know, if they're just going to do this anyways. So they just baited a bunch of people maybe out of a bunch of money to buy $200 worth of what they could have put into this anyways. Yeah. Dude, a lot of people really enjoyed what that game was. A Oh, really? Yeah, we'll see if we come across anything else on that. We're gonna talk about Suicide Squad. If anybody didn't see this in Discord last night, dude, I posted this in Discord last night. This needs to be refreshed, I think. But you know, today's the day it released. We won't get user ratings until tomorrow, but you can see the score on PlayStation so far, guys. I mean, it's only 8 reviews right now, right? It's only 8 reviews. But yo, Ferret, thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, it was good to read that yesterday and see what's going on there. I'm really curious as to how much that's going to cost, dude. Really curious. You know, and it was interesting that like Hasbro went to Larian first and was like, "Hey, do you just want to buy the D&D rights?" And Larian was like, "Sorry, dude." Well, like, I'm sure Larian was like, well, how much do you want for it? And you know, they were like, we don't have that kind of money. But that's where Larian set up some kind of, like, intermediary between getting Tencent and Hasbro talking, you know, so that Tencent might be getting that. But, dude, that's, you know, Hasbro's going to be asking a lot for the D&D license, you know. But we'll see if we can pull it up. Let's start here and see what comes up. Yeah, here we go, right here, guys. Sony has a new PlayStation handheld console in development. It is looking like this is a legit thing, and I can't tell you how bad this feels for everybody that already bought into the Portal, dude. Oh, here, I'll just grab it, dude. That's cool. Yeah, I'll grab it. It's cool. Yeah, I'll just grab it, dog. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, cool, man. Thank you. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, well, if you've got it, let's just grab it. Cool. We'll see what else there is to grab out of that article from yesterday. Thanks, man. Love that Java, baby. Let's see what else we got. Yo, is this not the weirdest, like, 2 articles to have back-to-back? Look at this. Video game industry in trouble, just like movie business. Why? And then the very next one, 7 reasons to be hopeful about the future of the video games industry. Bro, what? Make up your minds, man. I think that the industry is in a bit of trouble, actually, and I think personally, I think just from what I've been watching over the past like year to year and a half, the reason that the industry feels in trouble is not because it's not making money. It's because of the way that developers are approaching the industry to make games, and the way that they're approaching this industry, as you know, the way that they take care of their business as far as like their employees, and the way they take care of their consumer. And I think it's catching up to a lot of these businesses and the industry as a whole. This is the weird thing, right? So we talk a lot about how we keep seeing these businesses go, well, we're not profitable enough. We're not profitable enough. You know, we're not making enough money. We're not breaking even or whatever. But then every year at the end of the fiscal year, which is coming up, the end of the 2023 fiscal year hits on March 31st, right? So we got like 2 months left. 2 months left for the end of the fiscal year. But all these companies are still like profitable. Year on end, dude. Year on end, they're still profitable. PlayStation saying they're having another record-breaking year. I mean, you name it, you know? And then we've got all these layoffs and things like that, you know? So is the industry in trouble because it's not profitable? I don't think so. I think the industry's in trouble because a lot of mismanagement is the way it comes off to me, man. Last Prime Gaming drop for Destiny 2. Interesting. Yeah, that's a bit of a sign there, probably, huh, Ferret? $5.99. Yeah. And sorry, I got a bit sidetracked there, Dave. Yeah, Anthem is one of those games that people still bring up all the time. People still bring up Anthem all the time. Now here's the thing. If you have Game Pass, you've got EA Play, right? And I'm guessing it's on EA Play. So if anybody has a Game Pass subscription, you probably also, well, I guess, is EA Play just part of Ultimate? I think EA Play might just be part of Game Pass Ultimate, I think. I can't remember, but I think that's the way that works. And if you have Game Pass Ultimate, then you also have EA Play, which means that you probably also already have Anthem as a subscription. Just saying, for anybody interested. But Anthem is a weird game for gaming history. I mean, as a game that was so incredibly, only have PS Premium. Okay, yeah. But it was just something that hit my head for anybody else that might be interested. That's one of those really weird predicaments for a game that apparently, who was the developer behind Anthem anyways? I can't remember off the top of my head. Who was that? Was it BioWare? God dang, dude. That's crazy. How did I forget that? Yo, thanks, buddy. Yeah, thanks. Anthem's a game that I didn't play myself, but everybody was hyped about Anthem, you know? I'll never forget it. Everybody was hyped about the game. And I'll admit I was a bit worried about it. But when it came out, you know, it was... the core of what was there did seem good. The core of what was there seemed good. It was just left stranded. It felt like. If I remember correctly, I mean, maybe it had a little bit of some jankiness on release and stuff. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But that stuff got fixed up a little bit, right? Load screens got fixed and stuff. And the core of what was there, though, was pretty solid. And EA just dropped it, dude. They just left that game in, like, floating in the water, dude. Just nothing. And a lot of people have noted the fact that they thought Anthem at its core was a good game. It just needed a little bit more love, or, you know, it just needed to continue to be supported moving forward. The premise behind the game was dope. It's such a weird thing. It feels like EA just... I would love to know what led them to that course of action, you know? What led them to the point of Anthem? I don't know enough about it. I probably need to do a little bit of research about what led them to do that. But, well, I mean, BioWare and EA, you know what I mean? Led them to just leave the game just adrift with no support whenever it seems like it could have been so successful. I don't understand, really. It's kind of weird. Will Judas be the logical successor to BioShock? Potentially. It's being made by a lot of the same people that worked on BioShock games. And it looks very BioShock-esque, if you will. So it absolutely could be a spiritual successor to the BioShock franchise. But it depends. You know? If it's good and it does, in fact, give you BioShock vibes, then yeah, probably people will consider it that. If it's bad, people will go, this is nothing like BioShock. Because most people really enjoyed BioShock. It depends on how the game is when it releases. Oh, are they really? That's cool, Ferret. Nice, let's go, dude. Yeah, we're straight up vibing this morning, aren't we? We vibing, baby. That's cool, dude. Getting some Commander Shepard stuff. That's dope. Everybody's still popping off about Pal World, boy. It's an impressive feat for an indie game. I mean, for any developer, really. Especially an indie developer. Your fridge is busted? Ooh, wee, dude, that sucks. Jesus. Boo. Yeah, we're going to talk about Suicide Squad, yo. That game releases in full today, as a matter of fact. How long? Unlocks in 5 hours. 5 hours on Steam, so probably around midday we'll see what people are saying on Steam, but I mean on PlayStation 5 already? Let's see this. The 63. 63. So, I mean, what I was expecting was like a low 70s probably for this game. I didn't expect this to be something that was going to blow anybody away or even be memorable, really. Ever. Nothing I saw led me to believe this game was going to be anything you know what I mean? With a modicum of something that was going to be, you know, great. It was just going to be very middle of the road for me, from everything I've seen. And it appears everything we keep seeing as we've gotten closer and closer to the release is giving me the impression that I've been right about a lot of it. I think it's one of those, another perfect example of not buying into the hype, man. You know? The hype that gets fed into people in this industry, and I know it's hard, especially whenever it's an IP, a license, a universe that people are really fond of. I know it's hard. I know it is. But if you pay attention to the trends and stuff that tell you whether or not you've got, you know, reason to believe something might be bad or something might be good, usually pans out one of those two ways. Meet me at the club. That's so weird. My initial, like, every time I see something crazy like this, like, you know, Doom now sort of runs on bacteria. Dude, they're talking about E. coli, you know? They've got Doom running on basically E. coli forming the screens or whatever behind playing a Doom, the original Doom game. And it's like, dog, that's what leads somebody into this, like, area of sciencing something like this. That's my initial thought. It's like, Jesus, bro. Like, I'm gonna go play with some I love playing with video games, and I love playing with very, very dangerous bacteria. Let's go. Put them together, you know. Organic compute. Yeah, I mean, I guess so, you know. Yeah. Oh, the freezer is still working though. Ah, right on. Are you gonna just rip that bad boy apart and try to fix it yourself, or what? Japanese celebrities have reportedly been told not to mention Pal World to avoid Pokemon backlash. Shut up, dude. What? Oh my god. We've talked so much about voice chat being toxic and stuff. Dude, that is hilarious. That is hilarious. We looked at we watched the entire PlayStation State of Play VOD yesterday because we missed it on Wednesday. So we've seen this. We've already talked about that as well. Metro VR looks pretty solid. That could be a very, very intense experience, you know? The day before Saga has worsened following recent investigations. Let's see what's going on here. Where are the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League reviews? Look, man, I'll tell you, I've already we've talked about this. You know why there aren't hardly any early you know, like sites that specifically normally review games ahead of their release, for especially for big companies? You know, there's only one reason why Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League hasn't been reviewed by most of these sites. Because Rocksteady and Warner Brothers don't trust their product. That's it. If they trusted their product, if they trusted this game to be good and to be reviewed well, they would have pushed it out to be reviewed. But very, very, very few outlets have gotten their hands on copies of this game. WB has not been giving review copies, review keys for this game. They don't want people to know what these review sites are going to say about this game before it releases. Why? Because it would cut into their day one and pre-order sales. That's all there is to it, man. No doubt about it. I don't think this game is going to be total balls. I don't think this game is going to be, I never thought that. I never thought this game was going to be, you know, absolute trash. But I don't think it's going to be great either. I don't think it's going to be meeting the expectations that most people are wanting out of the game. By far. And I think that that's what most review sites would be putting in their reviews as well. Which is why they're not letting people or organizations and outlets review this game ahead of its release. Yeah, Hi-Fi Rush coming to PS5 and Nintendo Switch. Look, this is the beginning of something here. Look, we've talked about this a little bit. Hi-Fi Rush is an Xbox first-party game, right? This is made by one of their subsidiaries in Tango Softworks, which is underneath Bethesda. And this is something I think you're going to see a lot more often, which is Xbox is more concerned about getting their products onto as many platforms as possible. Whereas PlayStation and Nintendo are still in this mode of traditional, let's keep our stuff off of every other platform. Our first party titles, keep it off of every other platform. You know, Xbox is all in. They're like, we want our brand everywhere. Any platform it can be on, put it on there. It is expanding their brand to be in front of everybody all the time for, you know, their services, their offerings, their, you know, first party games, what have you. They want people seeing their brand. This is their play. This is their pivot. They're done trying to compete on this front of hardware sales and proprietary software sales and stuff, which has been the traditional competitiveness of the console market. They're done. And this is how they're changing, you know, their approach to how they're going to compete with PlayStation and Nintendo. This is the beginning of it. So while all those, you know, and then, you know, all the console wars and all the fans of consoles continue to, you know, harp about, well, I can't, you know, you see games come out and it's like for Xbox and Nintendo, like, this sucks, I can't play Final Fantasy 16 on my console, you know, or I can't play God of War on my console, and then you get like, well, I can't play Starfield on my console, and you know, Xbox is just, you know, they're going to be the ones that everybody is now going to look at and go, we can play Xbox games everywhere, but you can't play PlayStation games. You can't play Nintendo games, but you can play Xbox. So it's going to put them in a better light to a lot of gamers as well. February's free games with Amazon Prime Gaming have been confirmed. And we got some can't play Zelda on my console. What do you mean? Well, you can play it on one console. Just not the other consoles. Right. Yeah. And I think that, you know, it's I figured that's what you were getting at. Yeah. I think Nintendo will probably, you know, I think PlayStation and Nintendo are both going to be very, very reluctant to change anything about the way they've been doing business for so long. Nintendo will be the hardest to do any kind of changes to implement and embrace any kind of change about the way that the industry as a whole is changing in this aspect. You know, they want nobody to be able to play their games on any other piece of hardware ever. You know what I mean? PlayStation has slowly embraced it, at least to an extent, with, you know, putting their games on PC. Nintendo is like, no. Nobody plays our games unless it's on our hardware. Absolutely not. You know? And it's hard for me to see them changing that mindset, that business strategy. It really is. They're so hard, you know. They're like just steadfast on that notion, I think. But I think the industry is changing. I think it's evolving. It's changing, and who knows what the future holds. But I do think this puts Xbox in a better light to a lot of people. They have been, for a while, in my opinion, a more consumer friendly, a friendlier in many aspects, not all, in many aspects, a friendlier company to its people that buy into it. And now with it being accessible with even first-party games on other platforms and stuff, people are going to be looking at them and going, man, I can play Xbox stuff everywhere, but I can't play PlayStation and Nintendo stuff everywhere, you know? Yeah, I know. I mean, it's been that way for a long time, Davey. Yeah, I know. I mean, everybody has become accustomed to the nature of what the console industry has been, right? Right. Yeah. Fair. Yeah. I hope so too. So I think that's a lot of what I'm talking about too, though. I mean, people have become accustomed to this notion of the console wars. And if you want to play first-party games, quite often, especially on release, you need that console. But a lot of people aren't real fond of it either, you know? Because, I mean, that's why I've moved away from console. We've got a lot of other people in this community that aren't a big fan of it. We see it in the gaming community all the time where, like I was saying previously, people just throw fits, you know? They're like, well, this sucks, dude. I can't play Starfield because I don't have an Xbox, or, you know what I mean? Or I don't have a PC. Or I can't play Final Fantasy 16 because I don't have a PlayStation. And people don't want to fork over $500 just to play a single game, you know what I mean? Or $600 just to play a single game or whatever. So, you know, I know that a lot of people have become accustomed to the notion of just it is what it is. But at the same time, again, we've talked about, right, perfect world situation, there would be no first party software. There would be no proprietariness. It would be wherever, you know, whatever you want to play it on, you can play it on, right? I mean, that would be a better situation. Whatever hardware you want to buy into, good. And you can still play any software on it, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah, you too, Davey. You too. Yeah. So, I mean, you know, I think just because some people have become comfortable with the understanding that it is the way it is and it's probably not going to change anytime soon doesn't mean that it's also not kind of a molding thing for a lot of people to have to deal with, right? The proprietariness of the competitive side of the market and what they feel like they need to do and have done for so long on gatekeeping people into being able to play games unless you know, buy into their hardware and stuff, right? And Xbox is done with it. And it's because they've never done as well hardware and, you know, software-wise. Let's be fair. They have never done as well. And this is what's led them to be who they are today. With streaming services, cloud services, you know, doing this kind of thing of getting to where they're putting their first-party games on other platforms and stuff like that. And so, but it's definitely leading a change. And it's going to have people looking at them in a different light as opposed to the other console players like PlayStation and Nintendo that are still doing things traditionally, where people are still going to go, now people are going to look at Xbox and go, I can play it, and I can now play Xbox games on like any piece of hardware, right? But I can still only play PlayStation stuff on PlayStation. I can still only play Nintendo on Nintendo, you know? You know, there's been some court action on that side too, though, Ferret. People like me didn't buy a PS4 because they dropped all backwards. Same here, dude. Yeah, same here. Yeah, that was me as well. Yeah, that was kind of my notion also, dude. Yeah, and I hope you do have a good day, Davey, if you're still around, buddy. So most people know that I've quit buying into the console side of the market quite heavily. I still do a little bit of it, but for the most part, I've been out of it for quite some time because it's just gotten to a point of feeling just so scummy with a lot of what they do. A big part of it's no backwards compatibility. You know, I hate what they do to people. Xbox has been better on that front again than most other the other two companies have been, for sure. They weren't always, though, and it wasn't until not too long ago that they actually started being better about it. So, you know, it's and I was always more of a PlayStation player myself. I'll admit that. You know, we've always had you know, Nintendo stuff around and everything too, and I've dabbled in Xbox over the years also, but you know, I've always been more of a PlayStation player if I was going to be on console. But after PS3, I was in the same place, dude. I kind of got fed up with a lot of the console crap and was like, you know, it's not worth it for me anymore. I was seeing a lot of the stuff that was happening that I talk about a lot in this channel, in the news and everything too, and was just kind of done with it. And I don't know. I think that it is changing, though. I think that you're seeing I think what you need, a lot of people have to take a look at is over the past like 5 to 7 years, a lot of it started with Xbox doing the subscription service of Game Pass, right? You take a look at what's happened over the past 5 to 7 years of what Xbox has been very, very inventive and creative in how they've been able to stay competitive in the market, right? But at the same time, what they've done is they've changed a lot of the ways in which people are approaching gaming, right? And it's actually, you know, altering a lot of the way the industry works and the way that, you know, the businesses work. And if you look at what PlayStation and Nintendo have done, in a lot of ways, they've tried to mimic what Xbox has done after they've seen how successful Xbox has been on some of those fronts, right? Subscription services, things like that. And I think that you know, it's been very smart of Xbox to just kind of wipe their hands clean of this whole like trying to remain competitive on this traditional front of what the console wars were and always have been. They've figured out a way to be their competitive on their own front, and I think that it's going to kind of force PlayStation and Nintendo's hands a bit into conforming more into what gaming is changing into as well. I don't think it's going to be a quick thing. It hasn't been. You know, it's been happening for over half a decade now, right? But it is continuing to evolve and change as technology does. Gaming evolves with it, right? I didn't even see the last one yet. I was getting ready to read it, but now you have this push where they're all trying to go all digital. Can't own the game. The Ubi thing, yeah, dude. That was such. I mean, I kind of feel bad for Ubi because that was taken out of context so bad, you know. It was taken out of context pretty bad for a lot of what was being said there. They were just trying to promote their streaming service. You know me, dude. I'm not gonna stand up for Ubi very much. You know, I don't really trust them as a publisher or developer. I think they did a pretty good job with Prince of Persia, though. They did a pretty good job with Prince of Persia. Nice emote, by the way, Ferret. But that was such a debacle. It's so funny. Like, people like to hate on Ubi a lot too, because Ubi has turned into such a kind of an easy company to throw shade at, if you will. They really have. They've become an easy company to throw shade at. So people are quick to just like jump on Ubi. It's funny. You know me. I mean, I'm not a fan of them either. But like the meme that came out and everything, you know, like, you know, I even put it in the Discord because it was funny. But I even noted it. I think it was taken out of context a bit. I don't know, man. I think that the place to be is PC overall, you know. It's just so much of a more it's got so much of a better quality of life all the way around for gamers. It's got just a much better, it's much more consumer friendly in most ways. And I know it's not an easy segue to get into for a lot of people and stuff. Oh, I didn't even hear about that, dude. I didn't even hear about that. Really? Well, that's interesting. I had no idea Ubi was part of that. Wow. Well, yeah, kudos to them, dude. Nice. Interesting. The more you know, man. I just learned something today. Thanks, dude. Soup! God dang it. Bro, yeah, you were absolutely right, dog. We're going to talk about the PlayStation handheld stuff. We've got another article up and your tweet that you threw me yesterday, man. Yeah. What's up, buddy? What's going on, man? We're going to talk about it. So we'll talk about the free games for Amazon. Microsoft owes everyone more context for the mass Xbox layoffs. These were not just Xbox layoffs. Costs are down, revenues are up, and its stock has never been higher, yet Microsoft still laid off nearly 2,000 developers. They weren't just under Xbox, though. They were under Blizzard and Activision as well. Part of this, I think... So we already know where a good amount of this came from, right? Xbox is moving away from physical games in large part. So they kind of squashed a big division that was dedicated towards making physical copies of games. That's where a big portion of these layoffs came from under Xbox, from what we heard. As well as, dude, they are looking at Blizzard Activision under a microscope. And they did a lot of layoffs under Blizzard Activision. And I think there will be some rehires under that portion. I at least hope there will be. We've talked about this, though, so I'm not going to dive into that. Yeah, this is cool, dude. I'm glad Dave the Diver's hitting PS5 and Godzilla's hitting it. That's really wild, dude. Dave the Diver, dude, I will continue to promote this game. It was one of my favorite games I played last year. It was so flipping fun. It was like $20 and I got like 55 hours out of it. It was so good, dude. And I highly recommend people try this game out. It was just a blast. Really refreshing. Something new, you know, a new mechanic in the game like every single day. Great biomes. Funny, dude. This game is so funny. And they've added a lot of new content even since I played it on full release. There's been a mashup with Dredge, which was also a cool game. They did a mashup with Dredge, and now they've got Godzilla coming as well. There's a lot of cool stuff for that game, man. Oh, yo, thanks, Ferret. Yo, cool, dude. Thank you. Jedi Survivor got a new patch. Right on. I know the game's finally, like, getting into a good state, it seems. But, bro, what is it, like, almost a year later? You know? It took them almost a year. This is what this tells me. So, look, yeah, I'll just bring it up. I had looked at Survivor here recently, and it did look like it was trending up. So you see the past 30 days, it's 73% positive on Steam. Overall, 66% positive. So if you look at all reviews, let's go look at our graph. Now, it does seem like you're getting like, but last month, let's see this. It still doesn't look great, does it? This game definitely is not optimized for PC very well. I'll tell you that. It seems like it's definitely not optimized for PC. Let's look at recent ones. Hold on. No, that's not what I wanted. Make sure we're looking at recent. Yeah. Still performance issues. Essentially, it has been left dead in the water without issues being fixed. Get it on a big discount. Performance doesn't feel smooth. Stutters. Got worse the further I progressed. White flashes at the edge of the screen. Crashed twice. Dude, this is, and I mean, look, man, this game came out in April of last year, right? Came out in April of last year. So, I mean, this is what I would say. The state of the game right now is probably something that would be more acceptable on release, right? This game probably should have not been released until probably the beginning of 2024 instead of when they did release it, which is unacceptable, right? And how many patches are we talking now? 8? Patch 8? 8 patches? 8 patches to get this game to where it probably should have been on release and it's still not fantastic, you know? And dude, Jedi Survivor was balls across all platform on release, by the way. It wasn't just PC. Dude, it was console was broken, PC was broken, everywhere was broken. This is unacceptable, dude. This shouldn't happen. We're talking 10 months. 10 months to get them to a state of where this game probably would be acceptable on release, but it's still not perfectly optimized or anything. You know, there's still a lot of people having issues. That sucks, dude. It's gross. But you know what? They don't give a crap either. Dude, they greenlit Jedi 3 like half a year ago, before this game was even fixed. They greenlit Jedi 3. because they made too much money on it, even when it was released broken. They don't give a crap, dude. They don't give a crap. Yeah, Ferret. Coming out on PS4, what is this? Really? Interesting. Well, good luck. Good luck to that. I mean, I don't know, dude. Thanks for letting me know, Soup. That just goes along with the whole, like, why are they working on a new Jedi game? Why are they working on ports of this game when the original releases aren't even done yet? You know, I don't get it, dude. This is just, you know, I think the thing that sucks is Respawn did great with Titanfall 2. They've done great with Apex Legends, and then these Jedi games are actual balls, dude. Balls. You know, they did. So the first Jedi game has been, you know, considered one of the better Star Wars games to have ever been released, actually. But it was terrible on release. A lot of people don't remember that it had a lot of issues on release. And then this one comes out, and it's even worse. Broken for almost a year. You know, it probably shouldn't have come out until the beginning of this year, as opposed to the beginning of last year. And now they're already greenlighting another one. And it's, dude, they're making so much money off of it. It's insane. You know? It's crazy, dude. Shouldn't happen. But this is what I talk about all the time. You know, they wouldn't be so quick to make more of these games if they weren't making mass quantities of money off of them. People are still buying these flipping games. They're still supporting this developer off of this product, even though they shouldn't be. You know, this is a problem with our you know, part of our gaming collective community of supporting terrible developer, you know what I mean, methods and publisher methods and the things that they do to us. You know, and unless people quit supporting these companies for doing this kind of crap to us, it'll continue to happen. You know, that's all there is to it. Yeah, we just talked about this. Look, man, I'm not going to believe that Fizzant is going to be a full video game and not just like a movie until I see it. I'm sorry. I think Kojima is a brilliant person. I think he's made, you know, developed games that have been absolutely industry defining and have been, you know, progressed us in certain directions that we wouldn't be at without his, you know, his products and his mind being at work behind what's been developed and stuff like that. But I am not a fan. It's already being promoted as like a movie video game. And what that necessarily means to me is that it's going to be more of an interactive cinematic experience where quite often, from what I've seen so far of those types of games, you're just going to be disengaged quite often watching a movie and not actually playing a video game. That's not what I want. What up, Troop? This is what I think, Soup. I think that it's not worth worrying about. And this is why. It's really not, though. I know you're just theory crafting and stuff, but dude, I mean, it's there's not a lot of reason, or it's not really worth even trying to determine at this point. Dude, we're so far out. We don't even have 6 yet, right? We're still like virtually a year away, if not more than that, from GTA 6, right? If GTA 5 lasted 10 years, it's not wild to think that GTA 6 could last longer. Being built on a better platform, you know what I mean? With the advances in technology and what they're able to do, it's not wild to think that the game couldn't last longer. So, does it mean it necessarily will? No. But it could. Just depends on how the gaming industry, advances while the game is still active, and technology advances while the game's active, and how they're trying to work on what might come next and things like that. But there's so much unknown, dude. There's so much unknown. And with exactly what I'm talking about. The evolution of technology, the evolution of gaming, you know what I mean, and which hinges on technology also. There's no telling, dude. There's absolutely no telling. You can theory craft. You can like throw a dart and put it in a, so I mean, this is what I would say. If you want to go off of history, dude, then what was it? GTA 4 to GTA 5 was 5 years, right? You're not going to like this. But if you just went off history, right? GTA 4 to GTA 5 was 5 years. GTA 5 to GTA 6 was 10 years. You're not going to like this. GTA 6 to GTA 7 would then either be 15 years or 20 years. Depending on if you're just going up by 5 years every year or if you're doubling time. There's so many different ways to look at it, dude. Honestly, it just all hinges on technological evolution and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So, I mean, if you want a theory craft, dude. Sure, COVID didn't have any impact on GTA. It probably did. More than likely. I mean, actually, yeah. So, I'm just spitballing here, though. Who's to say that there wouldn't be something else that comes about if the development of GTA 6 was so big and so long, the GTA 7 development would also be big and long, and something else could come up to hinder that development as well, right? You started this. You started this, dude. You wanted me to dive into this, dude. I'm giving you what you wanted. Besides a definitive date. Really. True. Happy flippin' Friday, true. My friendo. Flippin' soup, dude. Oh, Jesus. Don't support The Sims 4. Get wrecked. Go play, what is this? Life by You? Try this out. This is coming out in, March? March 5th. March 5th, dude. Life by You. This is going to be a game coming out, and I don't know what it's going to cost. I don't know what the monetization in it will be like or anything, but it's coming out of Paradox instead of something like Maxis and EA, which will just try to absolutely maul your wallet with DLC with The Sims. So this is a game being made by some former Sims developers. It looks very Sims if you don't know, and you can take a look at it. It's here on Steam, and there's your link. And don't support EA. That's what I would say. A trailer for Taxi Life, a city driving simulator, dropped. What? Interesting. Let's see what's going on there. Rebirth download size is massive. That's what she said. Possibly. Was it a Kate Onder could be a female, but let's not assume gender. Flipping true, dude. Oh man. Yeah, look, dude. Today is the day that Suicide Squad actually hits, by the way, and we've already gotten an amount of reviews coming out. It hits in 5 hours on Steam, but you can already see some early critic reviews are at a 63 out of 100. Yeah, it actually is, Soup. It actually is. Yep. So, I put it in Discord last night, actually, so everybody could see kind of how the game was doing so far. Yeah. So, one of 2024's biggest superhero video games is fantastic and terrible all at once, meaning it's very mediocre. So, if you take fantastic and you take terrible and you add those together and then you divide them by 2, you get mediocre, right? Which is exactly what I expected that game to be. And why I've advised people to wait until it released to buy into it. Wait until it releases and look at the reviews before you decide whether you want to actually be a part of the sham that is Suicide Squad. But I mean, all I can do is advise people, and then, you know, people are gonna do what they want to do, right, Soup? Right? Right, Soup? Oh, dude. Call of Duty's next season update is massive. Let's see what that is. I mean, I mean, I think that's a more appropriate way to approach it. You know, you know, I think that it's not that like every game that ever comes out that doesn't meet expectations isn't worth a purchase at some point, but it's just that they're not all worth that AAA price tag. You know what I mean? That's why quite often I'll advise people to just wait and see what the game's going to be like, and if it doesn't meet expectations, play it on a subscription service, wait until it goes on sale, something like that. It's a more appropriate way to approach what the game is probably actually worth, you know, rather than paying over, you know, over what it's worth, right? Soup. Yo, you've been playing Tekken, right? Yeah, you loving it, dude? Woo! Look at those. Look at those scores, man. That's pretty good. 10 out of 10? There's no way, there's nothing. No game is ever a 10 out of 10, dude, in my opinion. Absolutely not. I've never played a game that was flawless, dude. Anybody that rates a game perfect is out of their minds. I'll take a 9.9 out of 10. Something like that. I've never ever played a game in my entire life that was absolutely perfect, where there could never be anything improved. Just saying. Let me see something though. Let's look up no, not 11, Dodo. Bro, I won't give that game a rating because I'm not even going to play it. I'm going to watch everybody else play that game and get just raked for their money. I just want to watch Rockstar just sit there and use a rake and just rake in everybody's money. And I'm just going to laugh and watch the world burn, dude. I'm not playing that game. Look, I already said this. I'm so disgusted with Rockstar right now that the only game that I'm planning on playing from Rockstar currently is RDR2. That's it. I already own it. I haven't played it yet. We're going to play it at the end of this year, and then I'm done with Rockstar for a while. They're actually disgusting to me. The final straw for me was the port of RDR1 for $50, where they didn't even touch it. Get wrecked. What a disgusting developer, dude. How gross. Get bent. I'm not supporting that developer. Are you kidding me? How gross, dude. Absolutely no way. So, from the 3 main fighting games, you know, these are not all the big fighting games, but of the 3 main ones, people will you know, that's what I'm talking about. True. Yeah, look, Soup getting me riled up, dude, on purpose. Soup choosing violence already this morning. Well, it's Soup's already nighttime. It's nighttime for Soup. You know what I mean? Soup trying violence, you know. I know, true, no comment, right? Probably because I already expressed the same sentiments that you feel as well. True's a big RDR fan, RDR2 fan. True's, you know, True understands where I sit with this too, because Rockstar has just sat on their asses and done nothing but worry about GTA forever as well, which feels bad to everybody that's a fan of other Rockstar games. You know, so many people playing RDR2 and just never got anything, because all they wanted to do was push content to GTA. It's gross, dude. Oh, we've already talked about the map, dude. We've already talked about it. Yep. It's in our news segment. What day was that? Boop, booty boop, booty boop, booty boop, booty boop, booty boop. Trying to see it. I would have to go look through all the news segment stuff in the Discord, but yeah, I've already pulled it up. We've already talked about it. The leak of the map and stuff like that. Oh, that's in suggestions. My bad. Yeah, right here. Yeah. We talked about that on, looks like the 29th. So about 5 days ago, we talked about it, pulled it up and everything. Not leaked. What is this, bro? Bro, that's not the map from flipping GTA. That's the map from Bully, dog. That's the map from the new Bully game. That's Bully 2's map, dude. You're not baiting me, dog. Yeah, nice try, dude. You used to have a rug like that? Dude, my rich friends had rugs like that. We didn't know what rugs were, dude. I was just like wrecking the flipping, you know, old wood floors we had with like my flipping cars, you know. Yo, let's compare this real quick though. Look at Tekken 8. So here's the thing. We'll need a little bit more time for user scores for Tekken 8, right? But user scores look very good, 8.4. But the meta score for Tekken 8 is a 90, 74 out of 74 reviews. And then Street Fighter 6 got a 92 from critics of about just under 100 reviews. But its user score is a 7. But this is also of over 1,700 user ratings, and this game's been out longer. So we'll need more time for Tekken to be out and more reviews to hit before we can get an actual a better baseline for what users are thinking about the game. But then you got MK1 bringing up the rear here with an 83, which is very respectable from critics, and a 7.1 user score. So we'll see what happens with Tekken moving forward, but it's looking really good for Tekken right now. Absolutely. You guys are funny, dude. Bro, Steam survey suggests more players are upgrading to 16 gigabytes of RAM. Dude, if anybody is pushing under 32 gigs right now, I'd highly recommend at least hitting 32. I'm like, right now, I'm like in the process of going, man, I need to bump up to 64, dude. You know? I'm really like, dude, 32's not enough. I built this thing. I'm only running 2 sticks of RAM. I built this thing back in 2021 and was like, I could just pop another couple of sticks in it whenever I'm ready, you know, and get up to 64. And I don't know if I want to do that right now or just go ahead and build a new PC pretty soon. I might build a new PC this year and just go ahead and use this as like a backup and let the kids play around on this one and stuff, you know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Weed. Yo, dude, I'm actually kind of interested in Helldivers 2. Anybody? Anybody? PS6. We've kind of talked about this stuff already. 3 PC games for $10. Fanatical. We'll take a quick peek. Dragon's Dogma 2. Yeah, but okay, so here, let me pull up the schedule real quick. Brother, you see how much food I eat, right? I got plenty of energy. I'm just always tired. You know? So, Helldivers 2 hits on 8 February. And Dragon's Dogma 2 doesn't hit until the end of March, man. You know? So, oh, true. How many hours? You know what else is tentative? GTA 7. Yeah, that's for sure. 804. That's not bad. I'm actually super proud of you. I find that to be amazing. You mean SMH like that's not enough? 804 is respectable. I'm proud of you. So, we're like hitting February right now. So, I might start playing the most for you in any game. What are you shaking your head about? That's awesome. You should be proud. Oh, you thought you had more? Time flies when you're having fun, I guess, you know. But, you know, it's hard to keep track sometimes. But that's a good chunk of time, man. Yeah, that's a good chunk of time. Soup, don't be mean. So maybe we'll start the Outer Worlds whenever I get back on Monday, okay? We might do that. I still need to finish Fallout New Vegas at some point. We'll see when we can get that done. But maybe I'll start the Outer Worlds. We'll see. I I'm kind of interested in Helldivers though. I don't know. There you go. I don't know. I'm thinking we probably won't play Welcome to Paradise. Unicorn Overlord is a must. So is Dragon's Dogma 2. All right. We'll figure it out. We already talked about this yesterday. Let's go one more page here. Yeah, I talked about that. Saw that yesterday. We've got the Prime Gaming free stuff for February up. We'll look at that. Yeah. I wish the finals is a fun game. I just wish it had progression in it to some extent. It just feels so bland. It feels so boring. There's just nothing for progression at all. It feels like what? Unlock a few weapons, unlock a few abilities, but that's it. You don't actually get to like level up weapons. You don't get to unlock attachments. You don't. I mean, there's nothing. That's why, dude, I went back and started playing Shadowline again. The finals feels good as a game. There's just no progression in it. It feels just super bare. Just kind of meh. For me, it's just not there. Oh. Devolver has laid off 28 employees. That feels bad. I love that publisher. That feels bad, dude. Children of the Sun turns sniping into a pitch black puzzle game. What? All right, let's take a look at this. These will be our articles. Okay, let's go. Devolver Digital lays off 28 employees at Artificer. Team behind Showgunners is the latest to suffer layoffs, dude. Dang it, man. I especially hate to see this from a company that I'm a big fan of. You know, I love Devolver, and this sucks to see in here. First day of February has brought more layoffs to the gaming industry as Artificer, the studio behind Showgunners, has laid off 28 employees. The decision comes out of the hand of the parent company Devolver Digital. Devolver Digital confirmed the layoffs in a statement to game developer following a report from Kotaku. Crap, dude. Over the past year, both companies have worked together to navigate the studio's difficulties to ensure Artificer remains open, that their hard work is realized with the launch of their next game. Layoffs are not easy. The remaining team at Artificer and Devolver Digital are committed to supporting these talented and creative professionals find new roles throughout the industry. Devolver is known for publishing and distributing games from smaller teams on relatively small budgets. Of the 28 employees laid off, 18 of them have been terminated immediately, with the other 10 departing after seeing their current projects through to completion. This news continues the unfortunate trend of layoffs across the video game industry this year. As always, yeah, Shaq News wishes the best to all impacted by the decision. Absolutely, as do we in this community. That sucks, man. That sucks to hear. Crap. It's a myth, Soup. It's a myth. Children of the Sun turns sniping into a pitch black puzzle game. Let's see what this is. I've played a whole lot of puzzle games in my life, but I can safely say that I've never played one as pitch black as Children of the Sun. Published by Devolver, the newly announced Children of the Sun is an unholy hybrid between a shooter and a spatial reasoning game. It follows a lone wolf with a sniper rifle on a bloody quest for revenge against an evil religious cult. He has to take out swaths of zealots one bullet at a time. It's as dark as video game premises get, but one that's steeped in a clever genre fusion. After trying its challenging and bloody first levels, you can consider my curiosity morbidly piqued. One shot. Children of the Sun wears its tone on its sleeve. Cutscenes between levels tease out a bloody cultist story in a wordless motion comic complete with raw illustrations. At first glance, it comes off as a little overly edgy. Evil religious cult has become one of gaming's most overused cliches at this point. Yes, 3 of the last 4 games I've played this year used the trope. Fortunately, developer Rene Rother seems to be going for more of a tone piece than a deep story here. It nails the aspect using dark visuals and oppressive electronic music that gives the world a creeping sense of dread. More successful is the core gameplay loop, which is an ingenious blend of genres. The core concept is easy enough. Snipe every enemy in a small level that's handled in a way that's unlike any shooter I've ever seen, though. When I load into a level, I can move my character left and right in third person. They can circle around an arena and scout out enemies by looking through my scope. I can mark my foes and tools like gas tanks that can be helpful during my run. Once I've cased the joint and I'm ready to pull the trigger, the grotesque fun really starts. The twist is that I have to kill everyone with one single metaphysical bullet. When I hit a target, time slows down and I can redirect the bullet somewhere else. The goal is to bounce between enemies and environmental hazards in one go. If I miss or hit the ground, I have to start again. That idea starts simply enough. C4 guys out in the open, I bounce between them with ease. The puzzle hook comes in when Children of the Sun starts peppering in spatial logic problems. I need to figure out, this is going to be a game for Pinky, dude. I need to figure out the correct path I can take in some levels so I can hit every target. In one stage, that means strategically shooting through windows to hit a target and bouncing out the front door to hit someone else in view. Another level has zealots milling around a train yard, and I need to aim through moving trains to thread the needle. In the first 15 levels I played, it was clear that Children of the Sun knows how to keep that twist fresh. Sometimes I'll see birds flying overhead, which are a perfect way to get an aerial view of the level without breaking my chain. An even tougher one has me trying to hit moving targets and cars, which requires some precision timing. Might sound a little difficult, but it's made much easier than it sounds thanks to some assists. When I fire the bullet, I'm able to slow it down in midair and tweak its direction within a certain range. Later, I gain the ability to more fully redirect a shot if I hit enough enemy weak points, build up a yellow meter. With that worry out of the way, I can focus my attention on clever routing instead of exact precision. Really nothing like it, but the best comparison I can draw at present is Super Hot by the way of Sniper Elite series. Perhaps with a dash of Killer 7 thrown in for good measure. Same kind of shooter deconstruction that trades in fast-paced action for critical thought and planning. The jury's out on whether or not its overwhelmingly grim story will hold my interest in the long run, but I'll be ready to pick up the scope again and inspect it closer when the full game launches. This sounds really wild, dude. Is this actually already out? No release date yet. Check this out. I gotta shoot this to Pinky, dude. If he doesn't already know about it. Yo, this looks great, too. Nirvana. Interesting. Yo. Yeah, Pinky doesn't have this on the wish list yet. Incredible, dude. This is gonna be his type of game, man. Holy crap. If you guys want to see this, it's right there in chat. I'm gonna add that in. I gotta shoot this to Pinky like yesterday, dude. Hold on. Cool. Let's keep pushing. 3 PC games. Let's get our music going again. Let's go. 3 PC games for $10. Pick from cool Metroidvanias, roguelikes, and more. Fanatical. Yeah. Fanatical's February edition of its monthly Platinum Collection Bundle is now live. The deal lets you select up to 7 PC games from a list of 22 to create your own custom bundle in 3 price options starting at 10 for 3 games. You can get 5 games for 15 or 7 for $20. Features several indie Metroidvanias including Bonkers, Cyberpunk Brawler Cookie Cutter, Dark Fantasy Action RPG, Eterna Noctis. Lost Crown is looking to play another game of similar mold. Also, Summum Eterna. One second, guys. Sorry, guys. Several other rogue-inspired games are also on offer this month's Platinum Collection, all of which feature unique takes on the style. Ziggurat 2 is a fantasy FPS that plays like a roguelike version of classic PC shooters. Hexen and Heretic, twin-stick shooter roguelikes Dust and Neon, and the Crack Pet Show. Those looking for a slower-paced adventure can grab the turn-based sci-fi RPG Star Renegades, the fantasy deck builder strategy game Oaken, or the slot machine meets deck builder Luck Be a Landlord. Plenty of games to pick from that aren't Metroidvanias or roguelikes, including the space colonization strategy game Interstellar Space, Genesis Complete Edition multiplayer dating sim Monster Prom 2, shark-based action game Maneater, and more. They've got the list of all the games right here that can be had in this deal. So take a look, guys. See if something you might be interested in. Oh, here we go. Here's this is Soup's Copium right here, dude. A flipping Call of Duty. Call of Duty's next season update is massive. The full roadmap for the Season 2 update in Modern Warfare 3 and Warzone has been released, shaping up to be one of the biggest content drops in recent months, boasting all new maps, modes, weapons, operators, special events, and much more. Season 2 will certainly be an update that fans of the franchise won't want to miss. It hits on February 7th, and as usual, much of the content is staggered. Some of it will be available at launch, while other items take a couple of weeks to a few weeks to release. On February 7th, the Season 2 update will release and will include Fortnite's Keep, new Modern Warfare 3 maps, Stash House, Vista, Departures, Operation Tin Man, Das Haus Remastered, Skid Row variant, and Airborne variant. Walking Dead crossover event, Rick Grimes in the Battle Pass, 4 new weapons, the SOA Subverter, Ram 9, BP-50, and Soul Render. 5 new events, new story missions for zombies, new modes, team gun game, bounty, horde point, snipers only, and Juggermosh. It gets better, of course. There's your look at the Season 2 roadmap. Ranked play platform goes live for Warzone with the launch of Season 2, exclusively on Fortune's Keep. It'll be a resurgence mode that accommodates trios only. Also, a fantastically overpowered new ninja vest that grants the following buffs: eliminates footsteps, removes movement reduction effects, stuns, bonus throwing knife ammo that resupplies periodically. There you go. If you're one of the people supporting this hot piece of garbage and you're enjoying it, then that's what you have coming for Season 2. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth download size is massive. It will eat up a lot of space on your PS5. Start clearing up space on your PS5 right now because Rebirth is huge. Over the last decade, yeah, we've seen games get bigger and bigger and bigger. That's what they're talking about. With that said, the game will weigh in at about 145 gigabytes. This may not even include day one updates. Given the PS5 has a 1 terabyte solid state drive by default, though not all of that is usable, it's actually around 850 gigs in total usable. This would be a huge chunk of your PS5 storage. Still, it's expected Final Fantasy VII Rebirth will be one of the biggest games of this year, both commercially and in terms of content. Yeah, this is what I would say. Anytime there is a game and it says it's going to take this much space, give yourself a buffer there. I would say give yourself about 155 to 160 gigs of free space at least. You know, unpacking, day one patches, you never know. It'll save you maybe a little bit of some heartache when you're trying to get this installed but that's what you have to expect. 145 gigs is the size of Rebirth, all right? A trailer for Taxi Life, a city driving simulator, has dropped. Did it drop or did it get dropped? Did it drop and then get removed? What are we talking about? Video games serve as a gateway to escapism, delving into the realms of the unimaginable, providing players with a means to detach and explore. This landscape has evolved with a growing trend of individuals engaging in video games centered around everyday tasks. This shift mirrors a changed demographic, highlighting an expanding and diverse audience participating in gaming. Simulation games are widely embraced for the myriad advantages and expansive possibilities they offer. However, it remains paramount to bear in mind that these virtual experiences, while enriching, are inherently constrained and can never fully replace the tangible aspects of reality. Despite this caveat, the gaming industry continues to flourish, witnessing a constant influx of diverse titles each passing year. A notable recent addition to this trend is the collaborative effort between the publisher Nacon and Simterect Studio. They've unveiled a captivating trailer for their upcoming game, Taxi Life, a city driving simulator. This immersive title promises to transport players through the bustling streets of Barcelona, providing a realistic and engaging driving experience within the confines of a virtual city. Let's take a look at this.
Welcome to the vibrant city of Barcelona, where history meets modernity in a symphony of architectural wonders.
Crazy Taxi. I mean, you could turn this into Crazy Taxi.
Good afternoon. My week has been hectic. I have a busy schedule and I really need to be on time.
It shouldn't take long.
Estaba tratándose cualquier cosa menos honesto. O tal vez no quería hacerte saber.
I am a robot. Beep, 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 beep.
Can you open the windows? Barcelona is just amazing.
Flipping people.
It's a wonderful city. There's always something happening.
I completely agree. What's your favorite?
Yeah, true.
Architecture, culture, food, everything is amazing.
Couldn't drive like this. Yeah. This is the thing, like the way that this game's designed to be played, like as just like a simulator for being a taxi driver. Hard pass, dude. This does not appeal to me at all. To each individual that it does, more power to you. This is not something that I don't want to.
I don't know. What's your guess?
I mean, it just is not something that I see as being an appealing style of gameplay.
They're aiming to complete it on the 100th anniversary of Antoni Gaudi's death.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
But I bet it will be worth it.
Sagrada Familia is a true
Again, you know, it goes back to the same thing that I talk about a lot of sim games, though. Whether you're talking about like a farming simulator or, you know, like Power Wash Simulator. Even though I think that Power Wash Simulator, to an extent, could be
slow down, please?
in the beginning. In the beginning, you know, you have that you know, just seeing everything get cleaned is kind of like a nice thing to look at and everything, you know. But eventually, you know, gas station simulator or whatever, none of that appeals to me. I don't want to pretend to be doing a job while I'm playing a game. I play game. I've had enough jobs, dude. Like careers and, you know, stuff like that. I don't. Hard pass, dude. Yeah, exactly, dude. Yeah, that's my kind of sentiment as well. Like, you know, if you, why play a game doing this? If this is what you actually, if this is your, like, I feel like that's what video games are about, right? Video games are about, like, at least that's what they've always been for me. Video games for me have always been about the escapism of real life and immersing myself into more of like a fantasy world or whatever. And yeah, if this is what people are wanting, go do it. Yeah, exactly. True. Exactly. Yeah. But I mean, I'm not going to knock anybody for enjoying this. I just don't understand it. I don't see it, dude, personally. But, you know, whatever, to each their own, I guess. The Day Before saga has worsened following recent investigations. Anybody going to be surprised here, you know? Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, investigations probing into the debacle that was The Day Before surface and turned the situation from sour to utterly hellish. Recently, campaigns compiled to find out the inner workings of The Day Before's development path were published online, with a slew of insiders and ex-employees emerging from the darkness to discuss the devastating and deceptive circumstances that ultimately led to the highly publicized downfall of The Day Before. In case you've forgotten, The Day Before was released back in December after several years of delays, legal issues, and vaporware claims. Then was almost immediately pulled offline again as the developer, Fantastic, collapsed and claimed financial ruin. It never ends. In the recent investigations published by GameStar and Game2, dozens of ex-employees who were once close to the project or directly contributed to it spoke out about harrowing conditions and a development path fraught with pitfalls and immense concerns. It was revealed that at one point there were 3 versions of The Day Before being worked on at the same time, with developers being split based on increasingly frequent demands from higher-ups at Fantastic. There were reportedly calls to emulate successful features from other games hitting the market. It all became drastically unrealistic and overcomplicated. In the interviews that formed the foundation of the investigations, it was claimed that Fantastic leaders would spontaneously dismiss staff based on the most minor mistakes. There were also reports of fines being issued against employees who were mostly volunteers who turned in unsatisfactory work. Yikes, dude. One former employee claimed that they never worked less than 16 hours a day while developing the beleaguered game. God dang, dude. When The Day Before was finally released in December, it quickly turned out to be a broken shell of a game. In a matter of days, every copy of the title bought through Steam was lining up to be refunded. And eventually, Fantastic disappeared into the darkness along with its leadership team. Yep. I mean, consider me not surprised, dude. You know? Gross. It looks like Hi-Fi Rush is coming to PS5 and Nintendo Switch. As I said when I found this article, let's start our music up again. As I said when I found this article, I think this is a you know, indicator of what's to come for the industry as a whole, and especially the console side of the industry. When it comes to where you're going to start seeing Xbox headed in a direction that you haven't seen with most console players, right? Xbox has been quicker to pivot into non-traditional ways of being competitive in the console side of the market and the industry. It's allowed them to remain competitive with Nintendo and PlayStation as, you know, their competitors of the console side of the gaming industry. And whenever you talk about the traditional strategies around the console side of the market and doing things specifically like it's been done for a long time now, but the biggest play is the first party proprietary software, right? So whether you want to talk about all Nintendo games, right, can only be played on Nintendo hardware. All the PlayStation stuff, whether, for the longest time, could only be played on PlayStation. They're getting to where things are being released on PC now, but you can't play PlayStation games on Nintendo. You can't play PlayStation games on Xbox, and the same has been said for Xbox for forever as well. You heard everybody throwing a fit about, I can't play Starfield because I don't have an Xbox. I only have a PlayStation, or I can't play Starfield. I don't think a lot of people were missing out. Probably hindsight, they're like, well, it's probably better that I couldn't play it. But I'm just giving you an example, right? The proprietary first party play has always been a tactic or a scheme to get people to buy into the hardware side of things for that specific platform as well, right? The unfortunate thing about what this has also led to is none of these console players for the longest time have been very good about things like backwards compatibility. There's a lot of issues that come along with it that they're just not very consumer friendly in a lot of ways. But Xbox has slowly been changing their strategy. They have been forever really only been selling about half as much hardware as Nintendo and PlayStation, half as much proprietary software as Nintendo and PlayStation. And if you look at, roughly the past 5 to 7 years, what they've done is they've changed their strategy. They've moved into things like, a very good streaming service, cloud gaming, things of that nature. And I think that what you're going to start seeing with Xbox, and this is an indicator of such a strategy, is they're more worried about now their brand being accessible, their titles being accessible everywhere. They want you to be able to see Xbox everywhere. They want you to be able to access Xbox everywhere. They want to be the brand that people can't look at anymore and go, why can't I play Xbox titles on my hardware? As opposed to everybody saying, what, if I've got a PlayStation, why can't I play, Nintendo titles on my PlayStation? Why can't I play Xbox titles on my PlayStation or whatever? They don't want to be seen in that light anymore. They want their brand out there. They see this as the more accessibility, the better for them, as far as it gets their brand in front of people. It also means more sales, right? All the way around, this is good for Xbox. So they're moving in a different direction than these, Nintendo and PlayStation have ever been. They've been moving this way for quite some time. And I think that this is where you're going to see Xbox really have an entirely different direction than what we've ever seen a console player have before. Is it going to be a good play? Time will tell. It's definitely different. We've seen Xbox have to do, like I said, streaming services, cloud gaming. I mean, the different things they've done to remain competitive have been good plays. We've seen the other console players emulate that kind of stuff too, with, to an extent. I'd still say Game Pass is above any other streaming service of PlayStation or Nintendo, because you get day one releases. None of the other ones that will do that. PlayStation's been very adamant about going, we'll never do that. Which, until they do, they'll never be on the same playing field as Xbox is, So, I think that this is the beginning of what's to come for Xbox in releasing proprietary titles on other platforms. And I think that this is actually Xbox winning. I think that they're going to be seen in a better light, and people are going to start going, why aren't PlayStation doing this? Why isn't Nintendo doing this? And it's obvious why. It's the same play that's always happened. If you have to, if you can't play Nintendo games on any other platform, you have to buy their hardware. It's been a forever play. Same thing for PlayStation. If you can't play PlayStation games on any other piece of hardware, you have to buy into PlayStation's hardware, right? But for Xbox, they were already losing that game. They were already losing, on that side of the business anyway. So it seems like a smart play for me, for them to do this. And what this means for them and for the other companies, as far as, will this be a popular play or I don't know. But it makes sense. It really does in a large part to me, especially with the services they offer and stuff. So we'll see what happens. But I think this is an indicator of what we can expect to see coming from Xbox moving forward with more of their first-party proprietary games. Not only, obviously being on their subscription service day one and everything, but in a short time after release, probably hitting other platforms. I don't think you're going to see day one release of proprietary games and everything hitting PlayStation or Nintendo platforms most of the time, but they will eventually, right? Whereas you don't see God of War on Xbox, right? You don't see God of War on Nintendo. Yeah, you don't see flipping Mario Kart on PlayStation. You don't see Mario Kart on Xbox. So I think that's going to be the big difference. And no matter how long those games are out, they don't hit other platforms, right? So I think that's going to be the big difference here. Let's see what this says. A year after it was shadow dropped on Xbox Series X and S and PC, Hi-Fi Rush appears to be set for a release on the PlayStation 5, PS5, and a Nintendo Switch. The discovery comes via a data mine that discovered 2 new t-shirt textures within the game's files. The first texture is a blue design that reads "I'm here, baby," with a silhouette holding a guitar in a similar pose to Cloud from Final Fantasy. The second is a red, I think it's supposed to be a red shirt that says "Rock Out Anywhere," seemingly alluding to the Switch's portability. Hi-Fi Rush Anniversary Update t-shirt, texture, platform exclusive designs. Data mines seem to suggest that PlayStation Switch port is happening. Hi-Fi Rush launched in January of 2023 as a shadow drop from Tango. Right, the game received wide praise from both critics and players for its art style, gameplay, soundtrack, and more. Within 2 months of its release, Hi-Fi Rush had reached over 2 million players. It's a banger of a game. It surpassed 3 million players later last year. Insider Gaming has reached out to Tango and Xbox for comment on the possible release. As of writing, no response has been received. So, if you don't know, Tango is actually a subsidiary of Bethesda and ZeniMax, who Microsoft owns, right? So, obviously a company that is underneath Microsoft and therefore a first-party title for Xbox and Microsoft. And so, we've heard rumors that this was going to be happening, and I think this is just, again, something that you're going to start seeing happen more often probably out of Xbox than you would have ever expected out of any of the other competitors. What that means for the competitiveness of the console market as a whole, I think time will tell, how people approach this and what they think about this, but it's definitely different than what we've seen before, right? In large part anyways. February's free games with Amazon Prime Gaming have been confirmed. Subscribers will be able to claim 7 free games this month and stream 10 more on Amazon Luna. Prime Gaming, which is bundled with Amazon Prime subscription, offers members PC titles to keep plus exclusive in-game content every month. What do we got here? February's Prime Gaming lineup: Fallout, GOG Code. These are February 1st. And Breakout Recharge from the Epic Games Store. February 8th is Missile Command Recharge from Epic Games. The 15th, you get Criminal Archives Alphabetic Murders, Collector's Edition, Legacy Games. February 15th also has Tempest 4000, Amazon Games app. And February 22nd is Blade Assault, Amazon Games app. The 29th brings... Is it a flippin' leap year? Holy crap. It's a leap year. Crazy. I didn't know that. Gravatar Recharged with from the Epic Games Store. Prime Gaming members can also access a rotating selection of games on Amazon's cloud gaming service Luna. In February, this includes Inertial Drift, Garfield Lasagna Party, Kunai, Inside My Radio, the Jackbox Party Pack 10, Fortnite, Lego Fortnite, Rocket Racing, Fortnite Festival, and Trackmania. So there you go. If you need that list, I'll put it in chat. Interesting. Shout out to Soup for this. So Soup shot me yesterday afternoon. Thank you, Soup. Shot me this tweet, which was from WCCF Tech, saying new PlayStation handheld powered by AMD is in early development. And my initial thought here was like, how bad this feels for everybody that bought into the Portal. But I was already not a fan of the Portal. I thought it was ridiculous that people were buying a $200 controller with a screen on it just for remote access. Whenever really what Sony should have been doing is making sure that their remote access capabilities as a whole were just very fleshed out and seamless and easy for their consumer base to access and utilize in a local area network environment with whatever device they wanted to use. But from what I understand, and I will give you this, I have not tried out their remote access services, but from what I've heard and what I've read, it's not very seamless. It's quite often very complicated. It requires a lot of network configuration stuff, which most people don't know how to do. And therefore, what they did was, instead of making it a better piece of technology, a better quality of life option for their consumers, they made a $200 controller with a screen on it to give people better access. Now they're making a true handheld that could have just played a dual role as far as a remote access device as well, as far as I'm concerned. So this automatically feels bad and just reinforces the notion. I've got YouTube videos about talking about that same fact about how I wasn't a fan of the Portal and what that meant. And I mean, whatever. If they wanted to push out a device like that, if they already had their remote access capabilities very fleshed out, very seamless, easily accessible, and integrated for their consumers, fine, then that's cool. But it didn't seem that that was the case. This seems very scummy. This seems very gross on the part of PlayStation. So Sony has a new PlayStation handheld console in development, report claims. Sony may finally be set to rejoin the traditional handheld gaming market with a new PlayStation handheld console. According to a known hardware leaker, Moore's Law is dead. Yeah, that's kind of true. Yep. That's a good name right there. A non-streaming console is in the works at Sony that would natively support and play games. In his report, Moore's Law is dead says the device will have a custom AMD APU that is currently in the high-level design phase and is at least 2 years out and technically not greenlit for launch yet. Okay. So apparently there's still quite a ways out on that. And I mean, I'll still stick to my notions and my sentiments, I guess, about, I would still rather see Sony make sure that they have a very easily accessible and integrated option for remote access for their consumers regarding any device they want to use. It's not a hard thing to do. That type of technology has been around for a long time now. Steam users have been able to use Steam Link for a long time, the better part of a decade now, in a very seamless fashion for being able to use remote access across devices, across local area networks. And PlayStation's not being in place in the same fashion and then pushing out a $200 device for people, make people feel like they need that to get remote access, feels really scummy to me. I'll stick to that. But I understand that now, 2 years out on this device and everything, that's a lot, a long ways away. It also mentioned that based on talking with developers, the new handheld could maintain native backward compatibility with PlayStation 4 games while receiving a Pro-like patch for PlayStation 5 titles. The report does state the device is still early in development, so things are likely to change. It's also unclear about when this could possibly be revealed and or released by Sony. Lastly, MLID says that while he can confirm the handheld is in development and AMD has the contract for the APU, the exact specs of the device are speculation on his part. Well, that's because we're 2 years away from the potential even launch of this. As we get closer, like within maybe a year, and especially half a year of the launch, we'll get a lot more details about what the actual hardware is within this device. As of writing, Insider Gaming hasn't been able to independently verify the legitimacy of the report. Until then, please, as with all rumors, take this with a grain of salt. Yep. But a lot of people have wanted a new PlayStation handheld for a long time. And you might be getting, your dreams might be coming true, PlayStation fans. It's just going to take a little bit of time. So, hurry up and wait, I guess. Yo, Soup, thanks for this, buddy. Thanks for this. Now, let's talk about this. Shout out to Ferret for this. We have a little bit of additional info on the Wizards of the Coast trying to sell the D&D license to Tencent, which we talked about yesterday. Yo, nice, Axel. What's up, buddy? Yeah, Fallout TV series for sure. Oh, dude. But Pokemon with guns is so fun, dude. Wizards of the Coast dispels... It's good to see you, buddy. Happy Friday. Wizards of the Coast dispels rumors that Tencent wants to gobble up D&D like a Tarask. To be clear, we are not looking to sell our D&D IP. Interesting. So, like we read yesterday, so to preface this, we read yesterday that there was talk about how Hasbro, who currently... Hasbro owns Wizard of the Coast. Hasbro had apparently approached Larian, the developer behind Baldur's Gate 3, and initiated conversations behind wanting to find out if Larian would, be interested in purchasing the Dungeons and Dragons licensing outright. And Larian apparently said, we don't have that kind of money, but they acted as an intermediary to get Tencent, who owns some kind of minority stake in Larian, to be talking with Hasbro about potentially buying up the D&D rights. Yeah. And that's about all we got yesterday. But, a lot of times this stuff will happen. It'll get leaked. There's talk going on around that. And then the owning company will be like, oh, no, nothing's happening. They want to keep it hush. So who knows what's actually happening here. Dungeons & Dragons is in a bizarre place right now. It's on the verge of the totally not a new edition rule set revamp and an in-development virtual tabletop project riding high off the back of Baldur's Gate 3. But Wizards of the Coast has also suffered from a massive round of layoffs, and the bruises of the catastrophic OGL fiasco a year ago are still smarting. Yeah, this was terrible. This has laid the groundwork for a swarm of rumors regarding a potential sell to Tencent, a massive conglomerate and holding company with its fingers in dozens of different pies, including Remedy Entertainment, Paradox, From Software, Epic Games, and most importantly to the matter at hand, Larian. Dude, they also own a big, Tencent, I think, owns some of Nintendo and everything too, maybe. They own a lot of stuff. Said whispers began when the Chinese news outlet Speed Daily, as translated by Pan Daily, reported that Wizards of the Coast parent company Hasbro, like I said, was seeking to sell its well-known IP Dungeons & Dragons, citing Hasbro's financial crisis as a reason for the speculation. That's despite Dungeons & Dragons being a huge earner for Hasbro, achieving record years for the company. Thanks, Axel. Shucking D&D as a property entirely would be like throwing a crate of diamonds overboard to stop your ship from sinking. Not something you'd do unless you were definitely about to drown, which isn't completely out of the question. The same report noted Hasbro's total revenue was down 13 to 15% and repeatedly cites a difficult situation for toys across the board. Thanks, buddy. Thank you. Still, I'm not sure if things are dire enough for a spontaneous bout of violin playing. That's been confirmed in a comment provided by Dicebreaker, where Wizards of the Coast writes the following. Quote, we regularly talk to Tencent and enjoy multiple partnerships with them across a number of our IPs. We don't make a habit of commenting on internet rumors, but to be clear, we are not looking to sell our D&D IP. We will keep talking to partners about how to bring the best digital experiences to our fans. We won't comment any further on speculation or rumors about potential mergers and acquisitions or licensing deals. So there you have it. D&D isn't being sold to anyone. What's more likely is that Tencent, which owns a 30% stake in Larian Studios, might be thinking about pouring money into another D&D game. This shouldn't surprise anybody, considering the meteoric success of Baldur's Gate 3. Another licensing deal isn't just not out of the question. It's a plain good idea. Yeah. It's hard to tell. You know, it would be crazy to see like Hasbro get rid of the Dungeons and Dragons IP because it is so very lucrative and popular, you know, that would literally feel like a company just, yeah, would they get a chunk of change for it up front? Absolutely. But in the long run, what they would be missing out on, it would be incredibly, you know, wild. So good night. Craziness. Okay. Sorry, guys. My hand's a mess. Wait, what? Harry Potter review was down. Wait, when was this? Oh, Harry Potter revenue. That's what you meant. The revenue, not review. Revenue was down 40%. Warner Brothers is still pushing it. Whoa, yeah, okay, so there's no way WB will sell the rights to Harry Potter. Wherever you saw that, like, the revenue for Harry Potter across the board was down 40%, I would fact check that again. If you haven't done a deep dive into those stats, I'm not saying that it's wrong, but you know. So this is what I'll say about that thing. So I flushed Hogwarts Legacy. I have flushed very few games that I have streamed. I've flushed very few. But I flushed Hogwarts Legacy. It was terrible on PC. It was so bad. The performance was atrocious. And it was so blatantly obvious that Avalanche is the developer, right? WB is the publisher. Avalanche developed that game for consoles. It was absolutely, I mean, blatantly obvious. Every kind of menu, everything about the game, the overlays, everything was console. They made that game for console. They ported it to the PC right before release, and they didn't optimize it for PC. It was terrible. And it performed poorly. All the menus and everything were just made for a controller. They weren't made for keyboard and mouse. I hated it. And I played 8 days of it and I flushed it. I think that the gameplay was good enough. I think that it was good enough. You know, they missed a lot of stuff. Like, dude, you know, one of the things that should have been amazing was like flying around on your broom. But dude, you'd be flying around on your broom. You couldn't even pan the camera down at all. The camera had to stay horizontal. You couldn't pan the camera vertically, which is asinine. You couldn't look below yourself. What the? Like, what? there was a lot of stuff. And look, this is the thing about, I talk about this a lot. When you talk about very popular IPs, with Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Harry Potter, you name it, dude. A lot of people will get blinded by just being in the universe. They don't want to see the flaws, right? So there are a lot of people that'll buy into it just based off of they're getting to play in the universe they love, and they don't want to see the flaws. They don't want to talk about the flaws. And for me, dude, I'm not that person. I'm gonna call that stuff out. And so for me, the game was fairly good on content from what I saw. It wasn't mind-blowing, but it was decent. It was decent content-wise. But the content was not nearly good enough to get me to look past all the performance flaws and the severe lack of optimization on the PC side of things and everything. It was terrible, dude. An Owl House game. Owl House was a fire show, dude. Owl House was a dope show, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know the entire Harry Potter IP, is down 40%. That would be actually really surprising to me, considering that last year 2023 calendar year, and we're not done with the 2023 fiscal year for gaming. 2023's fiscal year for gaming ends on March 31st, right? But 2023 calendar year, the Hogwarts Legacy was the highest selling game across the entire video gaming industry. So if gonna throw out a number like Harry Potter as a whole is down 40%, that seems odd. That seems odd. Yo, Wide Peepo, what up? What's going on? Happy Friday, guys. So, I don't know. If you got that number from somewhere, you might want to fact check that. Double check that number from some other sources and stuff to make sure that's right. I'm not saying it's wrong, but you might want to double check that. That seems kind of wild. It might be down, but 40% down is kind of nuts. Dude, there's no way WB is going to sell out the Harry Potter license. There's no flipping way. Unless some company was going to just dump an absolute mountain of money on them, there's no way they'll sell out the Harry Potter license, dude. It wouldn't make sense. It's kind of like this situation, the D&D license, dude. Last thing I have, guys. Last thing I have. Yo. I mean, did I call it? Or, come on, man. Oh, yo. Came from work. Chill here before gym. Yo. Love to hear it, dude. It's good to see you, buddy. So, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. It's, I told everybody to, hinder expectations for what this is. I think it's very mediocre. And a lot of the early reviews are giving us this, I told people not to buy into the early access. I told people to just wait until this game came out to see what it was going to review like before you even decide to purchase this at all. And here it is, dude. I mean, we haven't gotten a look. I'll say this all the time, right? I'll say this all the time. We need more. The more of a data set you have for reviews, the better. It gives you a better idea of what the baseline is for what your experience is going to be, right? This is a very small number of reviews right now. Axel, a lot of people wanted this game to be good. There were just too many red flags, bro. There was too much that I had seen through the entire development of this game that led me to believe this was something for people to stay away from. And I don't like being right about this, dude. I don't like being right about games being, subpar or mediocre when they're hyped up to be something very good. Yeah. I want all games to be bangers. I really do. But the reality of the world we live in is that that's not the way the industry works. The industry baits us into trying to tries to bait us into believing that all games are going to be bangers, and a large part of them are trash. Or just really don't meet expectations of what they're trying to get us to believe the games are going to be. And that's not fair. And that's why I just, I know it feels bad to people. I'm jaded by it. There are a lot of other people as gaming enthusiasts and consumers of video games that have been jaded by it. And I'm just trying to help people, save some people a little bit of heartbreak, dude. That's what this is all about for me. So I know it sucks, dude. I know it sucks, but there were just too many indicators, man, that showed this game was probably not going to be what they cracked it up to be, what they were trying to promote it to be. And early indications are it's going to be a very mediocre experience, rise in sales due to lockdown, and because of that, the profits. Oh, okay, gotcha. Actually, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, gotcha. Okay, yeah, interesting. So, we need more data here, right? This game releases on Steam in 4 more hours, I think. Let's see here. We got 3 hours, approximately 3 hours until release. So probably about 3.5 hours, I think, is probably what it is. And we'll start looking at reviews. I don't think it's going to be terrible. I just don't think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be very mediocre at best. And early reviews are kind of reinforcing that notion. Same notion I've had before the game ever released. And it feels bad to see this kind of thing coming out of a developer that so many people fell in love with because of the Batman Arkham games. That's the worst thing about this situation. That's the worst thing about this situation. Rocksteady, dude, was a company developer that so many people fell in love with because of Batman Arkham series. And to see them do something like this, that had they not had such I'll say it, a scummy focus on monetization, probably could have been a decent game, And it feels so bad to see a company turn into something like this. We've seen, dude, this isn't the first time this has ever happened. We see it happen time and time again. But it never feels, it always feels bad, though. It always feels bad. It's terrible to see this happen to us and to happen to the companies that we love at some point, Yeah, who did Origins? Wasn't that God, I can't remember who did Origins. Oh, Jesus, who was that, bro? It wasn't Eidos, was it? But Rocksteady did do the 3, and I don't know, man. So I think that, the thing to take away is, and what I try to impart on people in these kinds of situations when I talk about these games, and I've gotten very good at being able to dissect a lot of these games through their development processes and the things that show me they're probably not going to be what they're being touted to be, and that people should have some reservations, be a bit hesitant about buying into them on release and pre-order and stuff. Most of the time I'm right, man. And it's all about trying to educate people on being better about supporting the good and not supporting the bad in this industry, There's a lot of money, dude. A lot of money that goes into the promotion side, the marketing side of video games, as much as the actual development nowadays, if not more. It was WB Montreal. Thanks, White Peepo. Yeah, I couldn't remember, dude. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking Eidos. Yeah, that would have been like Square or something back then. And so it's all about trying to just help people as a collective gaming community come to an understanding of where we can better support the good and not support the bad. You know what I mean? And again, it's not that I think that this game might not be worth a purchase at some point at a you know, more reasonable price point or something if you're really interested in playing it, or even playing it on a subscription service or something like that. But dude, this is not a game that's going to be worth a AAA price tag. I never thought it would be. Not with as much monetization as they were putting in the game too. But especially now that you're seeing reviews, everybody should be able to see early reviews even, that this is not looking like a title that should ever have been placed at a AAA price tag, especially with all the monetization in it, you know? It's such a gross thing to see, man. So, I don't know. We'll keep track. There's a little bit of time left before we're going to get more reviews popping off for, we don't have any Xbox. We don't have any PC yet, just PS5. We'll keep paying attention and we'll see what happens with, you know, Suicide Squad as we move forward. We need more data. That's the you know, easy thing to say there. We need more data to be able to get a really good look at what a consensus, you know, rating is across the industry from critics and users about what this game is giving us, right? There's not enough here yet, but we'll see. Let's see what's happening in chat real quick. That's what I've got for the news, but we'll talk real quick. Let's see. Waiting 5 months to play Pal World. There'll be a few more patch updates and bug feed. Yeah, Axel. So I've actually, I'm done playing Pal World for now too. I'm done playing Pal World for now too. I've gotten a really good taste of what the game has to offer. It's been a great experience. I think the game is fantastic for what it is, coming out of an independent developer, and for the amount of content it has. Obviously it's got some rough edges. It needs some bake-in time. It needs some more love. They're pushing out patches and everything. I've been telling everybody just to be patient, you know. It needs a little bit of love. It needs some polish, but it's early access, dude. You've got to expect some of that stuff. For what the game is of an early access release, it's actually phenomenal, you know. Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, I understand that, Axel. I was always the same way before I started streaming, you know. I didn't like being spoiled on stuff. I'm not a gamer that likes to be spoiled on information. I'm actually very, very adamant about that. I don't like spoilers, backseating, any of that kind of stuff, you know. So, it's an amazing game. I think it has an incredible amount of potential, and I'm really excited for what comes from Pal World, but I'm done with it right now. I'm finished with it. I'm going to wait until they get a lot more patching done, a lot, you know, get more content added, even maybe it gets closer to full release, and I'll probably play it again, maybe on full release. I'm not worried about what I haven't seen yet. How many hours do I have in that game right now? And I wasn't rushing. I don't play my games fast. I like to really just take my time, experience everything it has to offer. I put over 60 hours into this game, about 63 hours into the game. And for me right now, that felt pretty good. And I felt like anything that I haven't seen yet, I haven't done yet, anything I haven't caught yet, whenever I play the game again on full release, I'll get there and I'll see it, you know. I'm sure the game will have evolved, if you will, since I played it right now, but that's okay. That's okay. I got a pretty good feeling for what the game has to offer, and I enjoyed it immensely. It's a lot of fun, but it does, you know, in my opinion, it needed some more bake-in time. It needs a little bit more love and stuff, and I was just willing to go ahead and give it the opportunity to continue to evolve a bit before I jump in and give it a full-fledged playthrough, you know. But it's awesome, dude. It's awesome, and I highly recommend people at least give it a try. And honestly, buying it right now is probably a smart thing, because you'll potentially get it at a lower price point right now than you will when it full releases. When it full releases, it'll probably go up in price point a little bit too, more than likely. It's just been too popular. And they've even noted that on their early access from the get-go. The game could raise in price on full release. We'll see what happens, though. We'll see what happens. Yeah. But it's a great game. And they continue to patch it and stuff, so that's great to see. But that's the news, man. That's the news. We're just gonna like hang out. I don't even know what we're gonna play yet. We'll probably just play some chill FPS stuff, dude. So let me preface the end of this news segment here with the fact that I've unexpectedly got to take this weekend off. So tomorrow and Sunday will be down days for the stream, and I'm sorry for that. For anybody that hasn't heard that yet, I've got a little bit of, we've got a family thing that has come up unexpectedly that we need to attend, and so therefore the stream will be down. It's I try to be as consistent as possible with my schedule. I love to be here and do this. I love to hang out with you guys, and it's an important thing for me. I love doing this, and I just, family's important too, and family comes first. And so something came up, and we've got to have the stream be down for the weekend. Okay, so hopefully you guys understand, and I appreciate in advance your understanding that I'm just not going to be able to be here for the weekend, but I will be back on Monday, and we'll kick it back off on Monday with maybe some Outer Worlds. I think we're going to start playing the Outer Worlds maybe. I don't know. We need to finish up Fallout New Vegas too. We'll see though. Okay. Today is just going to be probably some chill FPS vibes. We'll hang out. We'll have a good time. Lots of laughs, FPS stuff, whatever. If anybody wants to jump in and have some fun, if you have the games that we end up playing or whatever, then by all means, dude, let's play together. But thank you for the amazing news segment. Thank you to Ferret for contributing article, as well as Soup for contributing as well, man. I hope everybody's having an amazing start to their weekend. Happy flipping Friday. It's Friday, baby. We made it. That's right. So hope everybody's weekend is popping off. Yo, Reject, what up, my dude? What's going on, buddy? And I don't know. If anybody's hanging out, you're not familiar with what we do, this is how we always start off our streams, man. I am live usually 6 days a week. This weekend, again, is going to have to be some time off, but usually 6 days a week. I only take Wednesdays off. We always start off with video gaming news, try to stay current with what's going on in the industry, flesh out these ideas together, promote a healthier industry for us as consumers and video game enthusiasts, promote the good companies, try to make sure everybody is aware of, companies that are trending badly, and, maybe, not support the bad companies in the industry that are doing us wrong as consumers, things like that. Then we move on and play games for the rest of the day. And we've got an amazing community of people here that are always part of what we do, man. All about obviously enjoying video games. That's what brings us together, but it's about trying to be void of toxicity and negativity. Being civil about things is important, man. And just being wholesome, taking care of one another, spreading good vibes and stuff like that, man. So if you can dig that, then come be a part of what we do when we are live. And I don't know, man. That's what I got. So happy Friday. We're going to move on. We're going to play some games. We're going to have a good time. And I'm going to run us an outro real quick. So stay healthy, stay safe, be kind to one another. Happy weekend. Run this outro. I'm not going anywhere. Stream's not going down. As soon as it's over, we'll start playing games.
Guys know that they fly, know that they ride or die. My guys know that they fly. These brothers might ride or die. Guys know that they fly, know that they ride or die. My guys know that they fly. These brothers might ride or die. Unless you heard it from me, got it from me, then you ain't heard